to simple basics here then, right, before we finish up now on this part. Right? Okay. Forgiveness, right, I want to bring it down to complete simplicity. 3 steps. What are they?
Specificity, simplicity, and challenging.
No, that's my website. 3 steps of forgiveness. First step,
Notice.
recognize.
Yeah.
Second step,
Recall. Take back.
correct? And the third step,
Let go.
okay. So, in ATF, all right, the first part of ATF is to recognize the call for love. If you react to anybody, it's your call for love, isn't that right? So then, in the next step, you correct that. You take responsibility, you remove judgment, and you know, there's 3 kind of little steps inside there in ATF. The reason why ATF's done the way it is because it shows you the mechanics of what it's all about. So what I want you to do now, right, we're going to take this to a new level. You know there, underneath, you know, most things online now, you have a little box. And that little box is, I accept the terms and conditions of above. Isn't that right? So what I want you to do with your ATF sheets now, I want you to draw a little box. I want you to read it, understand it, and tick the box. Okay? Because this is what you're accepting now as true forgiveness. Isn't that so?
Accepting the cookies.
Okay? Because you don't have to go through those 5 steps every time you do forgiveness. It's just to give you an understanding of the process what's underneath it. Okay? So this is what I want you to bring forgiveness down to now, is these 3 steps every time. Recognize, you recognize your projection, you correct it, now you make the decision, I'm going to correct this, it's got nothing to do with you, it's my projection, you take responsibility, you accept that the other person is nothing to do with them. So in this step you have responsibility and you have acceptance. Because that's what forgiveness is at the end of the day. And then the third step is you hand over.
Is it not responsibility or is judgment and acceptance?
Well, that's
Yeah,
all in that. So just look at it and say, am I willing, is this my willingness now for every time I do a forgiveness lesson, that this is the way I'm going to do it? And it's this, yeah.
If you bring it down to like, I'm a fear of spiders, right? You recognise the fact I'm a fear of spiders.
Yeah.
It's within me, it's inherent in there within me.
Yeah.
And you take it and you're going to correct this. You accept it, that you have it sorted, and then you just say, I hand it over.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's it.
And the one thing that came up in America was that this is simple, but it's not easy.
You're sorry?
It's simple, but it's not easy.
That is fucking true.
What helps me is when I react, that I focus on the reaction first before doing the second bit. I focus
The reaction should give
for a
you,
little
yeah.
while and then remove the story, say it's nothing to do with spiders,
Yes.
it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you're just left with the emotion,
yeah.
and it's the emotion that
Yeah.
That's good, that's very good.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Remember what Jesus says in the course chapter 8. Discomfort is arose within the body to bring the need for correction into awareness. Okay? The only way that you can do that is, first of all, is to recognize it. And if you're suppressing that reaction, how can you correct it? See, the ego just cuts it off here straight away before you even get to the correction, by suppressing it, by not reacting. You know, so a very clever move, but one that you can easily now sidestep by being honest. You know, remember I says here at the very beginning, you know, if you have the thought of telling someone to fuck off and you would rather not say it, say it. Just really say it.
So that I can pick up on the vibe anyway. But yeah, I know what you mean, but you can say that about anything. Any discomfort, any problem is there to bring the need for correction into awareness.
You see, the big problem that everybody in the world has, they still don't see any alignment between their thoughts and actually what they say. They think that there's a big difference. It's okay to think it but not say it.
Yeah.
It's okay to say it but not think it, so on. All right, there's no difference between what you think and what you say. There's no difference between what you think and what you do and what you say. All will be aligned together.
Isn't that what you call honesty when we were?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, you recognize your projection, you correct it, and then you hand it over. So that's ATF. Let's look at complete forgiveness. All right, same thing. You recognize the emotion, you correct it by taking responsibility, you accept that it's got nothing to do with flying, you've got nothing to do with spiders. All right, that's what you accept here. All right, you bring it to the truth that this is coming from my belief in separation. That now undoes projection. Because you're saying that's got nothing to do with the story and the drama that I see in the world. A lot of people say to me, well, how do I bring it to the truth? You bring it to the truth by saying that it's not outside myself. Remember what Jesus says in the Course, the only difference between me and you is I chose against the ego. He doesn't say that I chose God. He says, I chose it. How you choose God is you say no to the ego. Okay? That's how you choose God. You choose against the ego. You can't just sit here and tell God how much you love God. You know, it's always about what you deny in one, you choose the other. Alright? And that goes for the two minds, the split mind. Okay? The way you choose the wrong mind is you deny the right mind. And we've all done that in the belief of separation. We all believe that we've walked away from heaven. We believe we've destroyed heaven because there's the story the ego tells us. So we have denied heaven, we've denied our true self, and we've chosen the ego. So the way back up the ladder, now we have to choose against the ego, and that makes your choice for God. Does that make sense? Yeah? Any score in the Arsenal game yet? No?
They lost 2-0.
I don't say that.
No, no, no.
Don't say that. I'm not attached to them or nothing like that. You know? Like you wouldn't need to be attached to them anyway, do you? Know where they're going. Right, so complete forgiveness is the same process. Okay? Just keep it those, memorize those, recognize, correct, and hand over. Simple as that.